Hi, everybody. Hi, ho, 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 Silver. Coming to you from the bunker, dudes, with part two of the creation of this 25-ounce bunker buster bar, dudes, number 001 of the Phase 6 prototypes. I left a link for part one of this pour and creation in the description below. The part one video included the pouring and some trimming and flattening of some of the misshapen parts so I could get some good stamping, and then into the tumbler it went. It spent the next 50 hours being tumbled in porcelain. Now I need to do the stamping and finish up the polishing. I'll share how it looks at the end. Well, there's my big hammer, and there is my big stamp. Let's get to it. I flattened that raised mirrored center spot for the logo so I could really get a nice clean stamp for the logo. I probably stamped it maybe 15 times, and it ended up coming out pretty good. You see it right there. Very nice. So now I need to do the backside stamping. I'll do 25 ounces, so I've got two stamps for that, 25 troy ounces. And then I'll need to put on the bunker buster labels, each letter put on individually. So I put this tape down, helps you get a straight edge. Right here, you see the first of a couple of errors, man. I made that B upside down. So I did another B, and there's some whiskers, dudes. Very nice, hi-ho. So now I'm spelling out the word buster, and then I will move the tape and spell out the word bunker. I'm not the best at making straight lines on this stuff, and I don't mind. It kind of adds to the rustic nature of my pieces. Plus, it's kind of like a secondary authentication process. If you find a bunker bullion piece with straight stamping, it's probably fake, dudes. Next here, I'm adding the P6P01. That's because it's Phase 6 prototype. And I'm also adding a Connoisseur Series number. This one is number 69. So here you see the backside stamping. See that error right there? Looks kind of cool, man. Whoops. And then you see the number there, P6P01, 25 troy ounces. And down at the bottom, Connoisseur Series number 069. I mentioned I made another error. It's more serious and related to these new tips. It's a different brand than I usually use. I use them on the real special pieces that I spend a lot of time just polishing every last little nook and cranny. One of the things I enjoy the most is having a real deep finish. I think the shine has a deeper shine and a really beautiful finish compared to almost anything else on the market. So in the first round of polishing here with my multi-speed Dremel is just an overall. I polish the whole surface and begin to get into the cracks and crevices. This one I did as a slow pour, so I would get those layered sides, and I start by just doing a general overall polish on those, and I'll get in there with one of those tips I showed you and get deeper in there, places where the tumbling medium can't really reach. Here, still in the first round of polishing, on the front side, this is a special piece, dude. I attempt to get things that are unique. I spend a bunch of time trying to make them just as beautiful as I can. So I'm trying to get as nice a mirrored finish on that raised center logo position, and I spend extra time on the logo as well. Looking back on it, I should have finished it up right here, dudes. I had not made the errors yet, but high risk for things that come out great. So I put on one of those new tips. This one has a flat top, and it allows me to kind of get into the lines that otherwise won't get as deep a polish. And you see here, just kind of using the tip a bit. And then I'm kind of going in and really dealing with the specific shape of the logo. You see me tracing the seam between the striated part and the mirrored center. So far so good, dudes, but we're about to have a problem. As I start to work on the really fine pour lines and striation here, you see off to the left little bits of felt coming off of that tip, and right here it started to kind of leave an imprint on the really, really fine pour lines. Normally I would have melted this up, dudes, but I figured somebody would still want it. I left a link in the description, and I put a super low price for a connoisseur piece like this. After a couple rounds of dealing with details, I follow up with a nice extensive hand polish. It allows the depth of finish that I was mentioning. So now it's time to wash off the extra flitz polish. That whole process of polishing with the Dremel probably took about an hour. And now I spend some time just getting all the little bits out before I finish off with another maybe 100 hours of tumbling on this piece. After a quick hand wash, I soak it in hot soapy water, and then I'll follow up with a little bit of a hand rub using one of those dry erase kind of sponge things. It's the only thing I found that leaves literally no evidence of being rubbed. And back into the tumbler it goes, probably for another about 60 hours, dudes. Let's take a look at how it came out.